Hi Virgo, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. A quick note about my readings. They are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Virgo, this is for you. And with that said, so what we're going to be looking at is your key to the week and the different sectors of your life. So basically your key to the week card comes from the monthly reading. So if you haven't seen your March 2021 Taroscope, I suggest you go and check it out. So before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So if you haven't got your seat yet, the Intuition Activation webinar is on the 20th of March. You can do that on the link in the description box below. So your key to the week is the Strength card. This week you are exercising some sort of personal self-discipline. So it looks like you're either nearing a finish line or a deadline of some sort. Now we've talked about this for you guys for a while, actually, probably over the last sort of 2 to 3 weeks. And what I get from this more than anything else is this is you kind of staring down the end of something or the last line of something and saying, right, I'm almost at my milestone. I've almost reached the thing that I wanted to do X amounts of time ago. And it looks like you've been working really hard on this. There's a lot of self-discipline that you've been working on or with, and in a lot of ways this is about you demonstrating your own willpower. This is about you showing, yes, you know what, I said I was going to do this, I set out to do something and I'm going to see it through. There's a really strong sense of perseverance that's coming from this. So for your actions and options, you have the Ace of Swords, right? So whatever it is that you are working towards completing, it looks like you have 1 month left. Now, for a lot of you, this could be a contract of some sort that's coming up for you. Remember, your Ace of Swords is where swift decisions are having to be made, and this is your actions and options. Very clear in the mind. It's like whatever you are focused on right now, nothing upon nothing is going to make you budge from this, which is really interesting. It's not necessarily like that stick-to-itiveness isn't necessarily something associated with a mutable sign. I mean, it's something that Virgo, I could say, is probably definitely known for, but there is a very strong sort of almost like singular focus on something at the moment. You're like, no, this is what I'm working on, and regardless of what else kind of gets in the way, I'm going to see this through to completion. For your communications and conversations, you have the Judgment card. All right, so this is nice. Now, there are big changes coming to your work front, and it does look like something you have been working on or towards for a while. You're just gearing up to put the capstone on, right? This is about you really nearing the finish line with something. Now, it also suggests as well that when it comes to the work, the profession, you know, the colleagues, etc., there are big changes taking place in this sector for you and are going to continue to take place for you from here on in. For those of you that work for somebody else, in a lot of ways, this could be you either spearheading a project or, you know, like, you know, when at work, like when you work with a team and you get to that point where everybody starts sort of lagging and they're like, oh, and it's like, you're like, no, we can't start slacking now. Like this week, you're going to be the person that kind of pulls everybody kicking and screaming, if you must, over that finish line, which is great. For those of you that are in that work for yourselves, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, etc. I really like this. It does suggest that there are going to be maybe some very odd characters that you start rubbing shoulders with from here on in. Certainly people that see or view the world in very different ways and maybe have some controversial things to say. What I can say to you is when it comes to all of your deadlines, and this is for all of you, you know, whether you're working, not working, whether you work for someone else, we work for, there's a strong sense here of you digging deep into your spirit to get something done, to get something completed, to get something finished. For those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, there's a big change coming to your health. For some of you, this could be a change of diet. Maybe you're, you know, no longer eating meat. Maybe you decide to start eating meat. Maybe you decide to go vegan. Maybe you decide to start a new regime of some sort. There's a strong sense of there's a strong element here of you changing something to do with your physical self and it's in response to information that you've had. So maybe you've seen a nutritionalist, maybe you've seen a specialist, like whatever the let's say registered professional has given you in terms of information. This week you're going to start to action those things. For your money and materials, you have the World card. Look at this. You have the 2 cards that represent the end of the, not the zodiac, but the end of the major arcana. So something's coming full cycle. And when it comes to your finances and money, for a lot of you, it does look like there's either a new contract on the horizon or there's a new revenue stream making itself available to you. Now, because it comes through the World card, this is the next level. This is the next step, the next logical step, the next pay bracket. For a lot of you, this bodes very well, actually. I mean, when it comes to the finances, which is great. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, you've got to look after your bones this week. Your bones, your teeth, your noggin. That's what we call your head here in the UK. When it comes to your home and environment as well, it looks like you're inviting the outside in, or you may be hosting this week as well. Some of you could be hosting, and very likely to be people that you haven't seen in some time, people that maybe you're still connected to but haven't actually seen in person for some time, which is nice, you know, it's really nice. And then for your love and relations, you have the Page of Pentacles. So for those of you that are single, you could definitely be meeting someone this week that you're likely to meet through your work. This person is somewhat eccentric, I have to say. This person is very likely to be older than you, or there's going to be an age gap between you. Now, it could go either way. And I say that because you've got the Page of Pentacles, which would suggest a younger person, but you've got the World card here in very close proximity, which to me kind of suggests that this could be somebody that is, you know, maybe from a different era or sees different things, or maybe their aesthetic is something different. So as an example, you know, like you see people that, you know, like people that have their own unique sense of style. Some people that like to dress from the 50s, or, you know, some people that like to, you know, it just kind of feels like this person is very drawn to things of a certain time, and that is reflected in the way that they dress. I don't know why, but that seems to be really coming through quite prominent. And then for those of you that are partnered or in relationships, something that you guys have been working on together, or deciding maybe, you know what, we want to go into business together, or there's something that we want to start that combines what I do and what they do. This could be a great week to start putting the feelers out to how that is going to happen and what it looks like. And it's very likely to have something to do with your wider community, so like the locality that you live in, which is really exciting, actually. I will say this, whatever you set into motion this week, you may probably not really be seeing the completion of, or certainly the full-fledgedness of, until Capricorn season next year. So late December this year, coming into January 2022. So going to be a really interesting week for you guys. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.